Hello everyone. Welcome to the Power App Portal Saturdays today. Very good morning, afternoon, and evening based on the reason and location belongs to you. I will try my level best to make the session interactive and alive. So please bear with me for the next 50 to 55 minutes minimum. And I'm sorry in beginning that if my voice is not very clear and cough in between because I'm suffering with cold, fever, and throat infection, and I'm still on my couch, so just bear with me. Before we start, I would like to briefly introduce myself here, and then I will start with the agenda for the session. My name is Ambir Singh, 365 Saturdays community mentor, currently working with the KPMG Deutschland as a Dynamic 365 architect and a technical manager within Microsoft practices. Prior that, I worked with Pearson VUE and the EA Games, and mostly in my career, I worked with Microsoft in different product groups and consultings. I worked with the Bing, MSN, and the Dynamic Portals product team as well, and provided my consulting in the Microsoft Global deliveries. Business are constantly challenged to grow, scale, and increase efficiently. At the same time, striving to add service capacity, increase customer satisfaction, and deliver exceptional services, all while improving staff productivity and enhancing service quality. And how do a smart business do it all together? So the answer is with the best in class Dynamic 365 backed website portal to quickly build secure self-service portals and even the entire website with no developers required. Make your CDS and the Dynamic 365 data available to the web. A custom application builder provide a seamless customer experience with responsive solution that's optimized for mobile, tablets, and desktop, right out for off the box, first thing first. So let's see the high level of agenda for today. I will do my best to cover as much as from the top following topics and the topics even outside from this list. It will be the continuity from the last session where you found lots of detail about the licensings and the use cases. And I would recommend to go through the portal Saturdays agenda, where a lot to come on the liquid template skills, play with the data in the portals, working with the web APIs, security and user management, authentication, upgrades, and all of them in very details. So I will not repeat the topic which we have already covered or we are going to be covered, but here I will just lay off a bridge between the intro to the expert, so the audience who are new in the Power App portals will not lost in between. So basically, I will speak about a very brief on the Power App portals, why to opt it, um, the difference in the Dynamics portals and the Power App portals, different templates and the use case for every templates, the complete ecosystem, their core components of the portal, what is in the Wave 1 release, and something very new which is coming, which is already in the public availability, and upcomings for the Wave 2's stuff. I will also share some valuable references, and then I will take most of the question if something left from the chat window. So Power App portals allow us to create a low-code, no-code website for our customers, and the motto behind is the idea of make it simple. And mark my word, make it simple is a motto for that. With portals are actually extending the capabilities of Dynamic 365 applications. The full capabilities of Dynamic 365 portals previously offered only as an add-on on the model-driven app in Dynamic 365 are now available completely standalone inside the Power Apps, which earlier session you already gone through for that. So these capabilities features a revamped end-to-end experience for the makers to quickly create and deploy a website and customize it with the pages, layouts, and the contents. Makers can also reuse the page designs through the template, add forms, charts, and views to display the key data from the common data service and publish to the end users. So let's take a use case. I can give you a brief of my earlier organization where, like example, Microsoft has tons of the internal and users and the external customers. Let's think of the scenario where I need to connect with my IT team or the global IT team for the faulty hardwares or the software issues, and maybe my HR team for my leave and vacation policies. So do I need to write then email or call them and visit them to the kiosk? Definitely not. I can explore the knowledge base and forum discussion before approaching them or raising the tickets. The same implies for the end users also. Like if you are the customer for some big manufacturing company, and you don't visit to every information and raising the ticket or the phone call, because that is the trend which is changing, especially after the COVID situation. People are trying to browse and get the content online as much as the possible. Same as for my end users or the customers. So this is something like you can do all of the things um, on the top of the CDS or the dynamic database. You can create a workflow from request to invoice and send bill directly after once the work is completed them. And the more important is that there is no magic. Complete process can take less than a day to surface it. If you don't have a very specific customization requirement, very specific UI specific requirements, you can surface the portal with your basic use cases within a day. And just think about the pain where you need to develop a normal web application. You need to just do lot of page building using one of the either AngularJS framework or the MVC.NET framework, and it definitely you can't surface a normal web hosted application in a day with all the security mechanisms and everything what portals can offer you here. So let's visit on some of the data checks, and the data is from the last MS Ignite. So Portal have approximately 11 million active users, which is approximately 500 plus percentage tremendous growth from the last year. And not only this, there are approximately 14,000 portals are running, and it's double in number of since like last year if you just compare it. So there are approximately 300 million page views per month, which is 200% growth. And not only the page view increased, but there are 100 million transaction happen per month in those duration. And the transaction is basically you can refer as a real operation, like you can do the create, read, update, or delete something. You can do the activities like searches or the logins and logouts. So it's not a just page view, but a more interaction with that. So on 1st of October 2019, approximately a year back, Microsoft announced the general availability for the Power App portals. And then how it's basically differ from the Dynamic 360 portals which exist earlier. Like we already have one query on the chat window where they asked for the difference in terms of the licensing and the other stuff. So if you have any portal which is up and running already on the D365 Plus, it will go as an add-on until the next license renew. So the moment you will go for the license renew, you can't go with the previous or the older license. You need to come to the new licensing plans. And in the previous session, you already have a very deep dives for the all the licensing concepts, and probably you can figure it out. So the thing is basically like what are the difference? There are no difference, and you can say the Dynamic 365 portals are Power App portals now. It has been automatically upgraded without any downtime, maybe in couple of minutes or the nights, and you don't need to do any kind of the upgrade for that. If you are still running on the older one, Microsoft probably is already moved to the new portal Power App portals ecosystem. There are some options like if you just uncheck your option for the early upgrade or something, then you need to do it like you just need to enable the option, or you need to just do it manually. You will get an option on the top of the page. The only thing is different, the branding and the licenses. So initially it was a Dynamic 365 portal, and now you just need to call it Power App portals. But from the structure point of view, there is no difference. And like as earlier also, Microsoft is really investing a lot of them, and they are making a lot of like they are coming with a lot of integration stuff. They are providing a lot of new features in upcoming releases also. So portals are not new, like they exist since years, starting from the ADX, then Microsoft Dynamics portals, and now the Power App portals. So the major announcement for the Power App portals come in the April 2019 as a private preview, and then it's followed by in July 2019 as a public preview. So 1st of October, like Microsoft, as I mentioned, they already announced as a Power App Portals as a general availability, which basically loaded a lot of cool and the new features. And we had approximately two major releases over a year. As per now, Microsoft is thinking to and revisiting to just go with a single release for some of the products. So, but for now, you will get a Wave 1 and Wave 2 release. Wave 2 release is scheduled and is about to come in the next couple of weeks. So let's see a high level of capability overview where the first thing is basically low code solution for creating a multilingual responsive website for the users, external to your organization as well as for the internal employees. It's a CMS that built right in the CDS, and it's really easy to interact with the CDS data on the top of that. You can do control your content by using the pre-built security framework features. So apart from that, like you can use any of the commercial or enterprise login provider like Microsoft account, LinkedIn as a AD B2C, Google Facebooks, or even it's allowed for the anonymous access. So you have industry gate solution already available pre-built with that one. And I'm pretty sure Oliver is gonna speak more about that one. So, and then you have a WYSIWYG, like what you see is what you get designer to create a website content based on the responsive designs, run any of the platforms, like even you have a desktop, you have a tab, you have a mobile phones. Power App portals are based on the Bootstrap 3.3 dot something, and with there is just exception for the event portal, because event portals basically you may get some of the exceptions there or the page rendering issues, but the all the other template for the portal are running on 3.3.x. So the another important aspect is to, like, it's built on the top of CDS, so it will cascade all of the features along with the CDS, like its security, its data protection, your views, your forms, your charts, your dashboard. So you don't need to technically rebuild everything from the scratch. You can just reuse it by importing there or by enabling that. And it has a pro dev extensibilities and the templating capability features to design complex business process. Like it will still provide you the web forms where you can just go and use your HTML, Liquid, client has scripting APIs, and you can build whatever you want to achieve it in a specific criteria or the requirement. And on the top of that, like you can use your pre-built templates, like you have a customer self-service, partner management, event management, community self-service portals, or even you can start by creating your own template from the custom templates. So there is no hard and fast rule. It all depends on the customer brainstorming on the like a requirement with them. So setup and experiencing of a portal are very, very easy, very quick. You have simplified designers. In German general, we call this a clicky bunty. So you just need to make a few clicks, drag and drop, and surface the CDS data on top of the rich predefined templates. So I would like to just briefly show you here how you can do this. So basically, you need to visit to the make.powerapps.com now to just spin up that. So there are different way to do this. Like if you're at the home page, you can just create that portal from blank here. So there is one option available there. If you don't like this, you can just go to the app and create it the new from there. So from here also you can create it the portals, or the third option, you can go and click on the create from the left panel, and then you have a multiple templates available. You can create the template from the blank as a starter one. And if you really want to just use some of the existing template, like for the supply chain management, you need a community, you need a customer self-service partner, ESS. So you can basically pick any of the template there and spin up your portal. And the beauty of that, like you don't need to wait for 20 to 40 minutes. We used to wait for the Dynamic 365 portal setup. So just click it, within 20 to 40 seconds, the portal will be deployed for you very quickly. And then you can start working on the top of that. Okay. So basically, like after creating the portal, the next question is from where you can customize them, how you will decide that what themes, images, navigation, web pages, content of your website. So the answer is basically pretty simple for that. And mark my word, what I said earlier in earlier slide, that make it simple. And Microsoft provided a portal design studio for all of this purpose. It's a WYSIWYG experience, so it simplified the portal designers or the customized developers to customize content on your website, to create and manage pages, navigation, themes, etc. in just a few clicks, which increase the productivity in a multifold way. And you have an option to choose predefined page layouts. If it is not matching with your business requirement, you can always feel free to create your own template using the page and the web templates, which is already available in the portal solution. So you just need to create on the top of that. And then design is not only allowed you to change the look and feel, but it also provide a way to integrate your CDS or the dynamic data, like forms or the views in just a few clicks. So for like all the field of the forms will remain same metadata, same data type. And not only this, but you can put more magic on the top of that, like it's kind of the more icing on the cake. You can go with the captcha on the same form, especially for the pages having the anonymous access. So Portal provide you the maximum reusability, which means the less pain. Then you have a inbuilt identity management. So Portal are meant for the user outside of your organization as well as for the internal employees. So authentication and anonymous users always come in the picture. You cannot ignore this aspect while designing the portal. So you can enable a variety of the commercial login providers like Microsoft, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, as well as enterprise identity provider like Azure AD, B2C, Okta, Auth0, etc. And but here Microsoft generally recommend Azure AD B2C as a preferred provider, but you are feel free to use any of the providers available in the market. You can just go in the identity management, enable it, use it, and the good part is everything surrounding like within the context of the user, which is generally as a portal contact. So you don't need to do a lot of effort there. It just drag and drop, and I would say just clicking on some buttons, filling the values, and saving it. So Portal support the self-service in terms of the registration and the profile management out of box. It allow a user to link or delink identities from the different identity providers also. So suppose you forget your password for the Twitter, but you can still log in via your LinkedIn credential if you already mapped that one. And this is very powerful feature that the identity will not be lost in portals. So you created a case after login from the Microsoft account, and the next time you log in via your Twitter account or the Facebook account or the Google account, you can still see your all the data as same from the different identity providers, because your profile is same in one contact in CDS or the Dynamics. I will probably demonstrate this with two identity providers, the local login or probably Azure B2C in the demos. So it also enable anonymous access like FAQs, contact us, or about us, or office location pages. So you can just go with the hybrid content also for the same page, like you can expose the sales or the HR lead email IDs and direct contacts just for the logged in user, but you can just disable it for the anonymous user. So in a page you can just use the liquid template and just in a if block just mention for the logged in user that they can able to see it, but like if the user is anonymous, they cannot see that content. And the good part is it's not rendered on the page itself. So people are smart, they can go and see the definitions, but yeah, then you can't see that one. So Contact is the core for the portal identity management. It helps to support not only B2C, but also B2B models. So like an example of the case submitted by Arpit. So he should be able to see, and in this example, like a B2C, but in a B2B scenario, like if he submitted one case, then as a part of his organization, me, Raj, or Victor, anyone can go and see the cases what he submitted. So this is also somehow possible, like within relevance and out of box. So you don't need to just write a extraordinary code to just fetch it and do it. You just need to change some of the values or the like the access control for that. So external users facing sites need to be perfect in terms of the UI and the look and feel because it represents your brand and the brand is really important for the organization. So responsive website which run on every platforms, every surface, every browser is internally supported by the Bootstrap themes here in the portals, and it provide you the pixel perfect website. And the good part is here you can customize as much as you can on the top of that. So the only thing you need to consider here, if you're using the bootstrap pattern to keep the website responsive, you need to continue to use that. You need to follow the patterns what the bootstrap says. Actually, if you're breaking this while you're customization, then probably Microsoft is not responsible for that to support on that. You need to fix that too, but they definitely give the recommendation to you. So not only this, it supports all the CDS languages except RTL market like Hebrew or the Arabic. It also supports a lot of language variants like English UK, French Canadian, and not only the French or English India. So like this supports around 180 variants. Just keep in mind that it need to be tied at one of the listed CDS core language because your list content, or everything is coming from the CDS. So most important thing is accessibility here, which are the core things in any of the Microsoft products since last 5 to 7 years, and portals are definitely not an exception on this. So all of the controls over the portal pages or layouts are 100% supported accessibilities and support like WCAG 2.0 now. And like if you know, the WCAG is the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines provided by the W3C guidelines. And if you are making any of the customization in layout, you need to share this responsibility to keep your customization complex with the compliance with the WCAG. So WCAG is already declared the next version 2.0, but I'm not sure which release you will get this standard out of box with portals, because I see the roadmaps for the next release also. It's not part of that one. So I'm not sure, like Microsoft management, I think they have the best answer for that one. For Portal, CDS is a core, and it doesn't mean that you cannot leverage the beauty of other Microsoft products or the services. So integrate with the Power BI embedded components like reports, dashboard, and tiles. You can integrate with the SharePoint and Azure blobs for the document storage. I have already shown the demonstration for this in my earlier session. You can get the YouTube videos or recorded YouTube videos or the PowerThen YouTube channel. You can refer that one. You can integrate the Azure AD B2C as an identity providers. It's already there. Integrate with the Azure application insights for the telemetry users. I saw one of the query on the chat that how you can do this. There is a script available on the probably on the Google. You just need to use those JavaScript or the pages, and um, everything is done automatically, like if you just configure it correctly. If you will not found, just ping me or the LinkedIn, and I would be happy to just provide the syntax for you. And it's integrate with Azure application gateway is a WAF, like web application firewalls for providing additional securities. So it's more complex if you have a government site or something, or if you are staying in a region like an example China or some of the like the ABIC countries, or maybe Germany is the best example for that, where you don't rely much on someone, and you need to be go with different layers of the securities. So yes, that is true. And how you can do this, let me just quickly show how you can enable. I will show you there very quickly, just a second. So maybe you can visit to the administration center. Second, let me find out if I can open. Okay, here we go. And this is the admin center. I will come to this page or the link later on also, but just to give a quick through. So here you can just set up like a SharePoint integration. A second, let me refresh it, and then I can show you back. And so basically you need to go to the admin panel, and you need to just set up the SharePoint integration. Like you need to enable it for and just configure it. So this is the one thing. Then you can actually set up for the Power BI integration also. So you can just go and enable either one of the tile. You can enable the Power BI, and then you need to configure by passing the application ID there. So this is the two different aspects which I want to show you. And I'm sorry for the disturbance. I just muted. And apart from that, like if you need a really custom, you need a custom logs, then you can just go enable the custom logs, and then you basically configure that too. So your all the logs, error logs will just move to the Azure blobs, and you can find out maybe after 6 months as well. So you just need to enable the diagnosis log. It will ask for some of the Azure stuff or the keys. You just provide it, and then you can configure it. So this is somehow very much possible out of box without writing a lot of code. You just need to set up it or configure it. So basically now let's quickly talk about the portal template. So basically you have a community portal template. For the community, basically the target audience is the partner or the customers. And you need to choose this option to provision a portal that is basically focused on online community. The portal will contain features such as forums, ideas, blogs, or the case management. So if you have something, some requirements related with that, you will get the first thing first out of box in this portal template. So just like an example, if you're running some community driven stuff, you need to just post the ideas, thumbs up, thumbs down for those ideas. The community portal is the best answer for that one. Then you have a customer self-service portal. It again meant for the target audience is the partners or the customers. So this option basically provide you the ability for the portals where user have to search the knowledge articles, they have to submit cases, they have to participate in the decisions or the discussions, like forums to resolve the issues. Then one of the important aspect is the employee self-service. So as in the earlier session also it's explained, like portal is not only for the external users or the anonymous users, but it also for the internal users. So the employee self-service portal is basically meant and only meant for the employees of the organization. And this portal allows employees to access the centralized knowledge articles and also to submit the case on the top of that. Partner portal is probably a very matured one, where it has a lot of components around that. It basically meant for the partners, and you choose this option if you need to build a portal where external partners can manage the collaboration on accounts and opportunities. And like as an add-on, it's also available for the Dynamic 365 field services or the Dynamic 365 project services. But the thing which you need to consider that if you really need to enable the field services or the project service option of like in the for the portals, those solutions need to be installed on your instance. If it is not installed, you will not get an option to enable it. It will be faded out. And then if it is not suited any of your requirement, you can actually start the portal from the blank, and then it's for the unique line of the business scenarios where the other templates are not good fit. And the portals can configure to address a variety of the requirements. So like if portal from blank is provisions with a common data service environment, with the Dynamic 365 app enabled, specific features from that, the other portals can be incorporated into the portal later. So it's not necessary that if you enable one portal, you can't just move to the other portals on the top of that. Then like you have a supply chain management specific portals, which is new in the family, and this template that basically provides the portal access for the Dynamic 365 supply chain management data by using the dual rate common data service entities, and it's basically meant for the enterprise B2B scenarios. So this is a brief for that one. So there are few basic stuff, or I would say like all portals template are built on the common foundation, like we generally call as a portal base. And it includes like the portal studio, the content management, where you can just go for content publishing, designing themings, multilingual support or templating. And it also extend the built-in web pages, templates, entity forms, entity list. You have out-of-box security available, or the security components like the web role, content permission, entity permissions. So this is also available inbuilt for that one as a base solution. You have a common feature like ads, polls, rating, and the comments. So this is basically not these features are not standalone and can be used through the other part of the implementation. For example, rating and comments can be enabled for a page, and the ads can included as a part of the template. So some feature will require Dynamic 365 app to be enabled. For example, like a knowledge articles required Microsoft Dynamic 365 apps. So yeah, and what I would just post additional consideration here. So some portal templates have a prerequisites, which I just mentioned, like for the installation. Like an example, your installation will fail if the prerequisites are not met. For example, like if you have for example, to install field service for a partner portal, the partner portal and the field service solution must have already been installed on the portal. If you attempt to install field service first and the installation will fail and give you that error. So if Dynamic 365 app are not enabled, the only available portal option is the portal from blank. Um, or and yes, one important aspect I need to just tell you about the employee portal access. So when an employee accesses the portal functionality, an appropriate Dynamic 365 or the portal licensing might be required for that one, because you don't need a additional login or as a external users. So this simplest way to access the licensing requirement to keep in the mind that the requirement do not change based on the method of access. So if you are using in the Dynamic 365 model driven app or the portal app, the requirement should be same. So you can't say, okay, I'm using the customer self-service in a Dynamic 365, but as an employee, I can use a sales solution like in the portal. So this is somehow not possible. And yeah, so let's move to the other one. Like as I told you, we have a lot of advanced admin options, which is generally like Microsoft is really working on that. Let me just go back to the portal and I can show you a few of them very quickly. So the latest metadata translation. So basically the metadata translation, what does it mean? So the first thing, if you are going to enable it, it will slow down your portal for a specific time, but not very though, because if you the best scenario is if you have a portal in a base English language and then you enable 5 languages on the top of that. You need a metadata translations for that one, and you can just come here and just get the latest metadata translation. And as an admin, you need to keep in practice that maybe once a week or twice a week, you just go here on the off time when there's a less load on the portal and you just get the latest metadata, because it's not only for the new languages you enable it, it also for the updates of the languages which has already been enabled for the portals. The second one is the IP restriction. So this is again an important aspect. If you don't want to expose your portals for anonymous IPs or something, and especially the scenario is when you meant for the specific group, a specific team, you can go and enable the IP IP restrictions there. So this is somehow very much possible. The next is like a diagnosis login. Logs I already informed you. You can use the Azure blobs. You can push the logs there, and for that you just need to enable the diagnosis login, and then you can just a second. You can just pass your connection string, and then you can tell that what would be the retention period. So, for me, if I'm working on a dev environment, I would always go maybe 30 days, not more than that. But if you're really for the production or something, maybe you can just go for the longer duration. But please keep in mind, it uses the Azure Blob services, and that's why you have to pay the additional cost if you're using the Azure Blob services. So it's not something that freely you will get it using this Azure Blob storage. Then the very important aspect is the maintenance mode. So suppose there's a specific requirement you need to go with the next release or something, or there's some downside or issues with some implementation, you can immediately down your portal and you can enable maintenance mode. The good part is then you can give the inbuilt pages which meant for the portal down, like example 404 or something that we are working on that, and the portal will enable back in next 2 hours or by 12 o'clock this night. So you can give this information to your customers or the users for the portal. Not only this, you can just give your custom page URL within, not only within the portal ecosystem, but any of the custom page. So if you have any specific custom page for your organization, you can just go and give this page here. And when user will visit to this site, they will basically see this page, that your portal is basically down and all the information related with that. So that is an clear cache, and this is one of the pain, especially for all the developers, and I think most the developers in for the sessions too. So this is one of the pain point, like which basically I was facing from last couple of years when we were working for the portal. So especially if you change something, you will not see the latest data. It's more for the developers, but somehow it's extended to the normal user. So if you created some data for on the portal, on the CRM or on the CDS, it takes some time to reflect on the um, to the end users or the pages. So the SLA is already provided by the Microsoft. I think it's around 15 minutes. But yes, you need to be very wise for that one. And for 15 minutes, definitely you can't work for the developer environment. So if you really need to refresh your cache, so there are a couple of options. The first thing, you can just type like service underscore service slash about after the URL, and you can clear the cache from here. This is the first of the option. The important thing is this URL is accessible only for the admin users, not for the normal portal users. So this is meant for the admins clearing the cache. Normal users, they can't do it actually, because this need to be triggered at the server end. The second thing is you can go to the portal action, and in the portal action, there is a option for the restart. So you can also restart it from here. This is also a visible option. And generally, if you have the admin privileges, you can come and restart it from here. Please remember, if you restart it, portal will slow down. It will not be accessible for a few duration, couple of second or maybe minutes as well. And then every cache will be rebuilt. Apart from that, you can go to your portal. You can just change the website bindings. So if you change the website binding or enable or disable portals, then also you can trigger the portal cache refresh automatically. So there are a couple of ways you can actually you can opt for if you really need to clear the cache immediately. And then you have a run portal cache available. So basically, like I can show you quickly. So run portal checker is basically like there are few of the listing provided from the Microsoft itself, like a product team, and you can go and always check the portals, that is there any issue with the portal. So run portal checker basically like provide you the option that okay, it will give you the list if something is not up to the mark and you have some forecast issues as per the product team, you will get a list. And Microsoft is keep actually including more and more checker rules into that one. So this is somehow you can also able to get it. Okay, and the option for the run portal checker, you will basically get on the left navigation. So if you run the portal checker, it will just run for maybe around 1 to 2 minutes max. And then you will get a list for that one. And in the list also, it's not only the list there where you will see the warnings or the errors or some of the recommendation, but most of them you will get the solution for that also, that what you need to do it. So an example, I just run it, and for me it seems everything is okay. There was some, not a warning, but kind of the information. If you can go there, you can see the description for that one, that okay, enabling the render look, something like that. So this kind of information you will get it, and what you need to do to mitigate the issue, you will also get an option for that one. So this is really something very interesting, like out of box you will get this capabilities without any cost. You will get kind of the virtual support from the Microsoft product team or SMEs for that. Okay, so what's new in the portal? So I would just very quickly just go through like a theming support in the portal design studio. So you can immediately go and change the themes for the portal. How you can do this, I can show you quickly again. Okay, so basically you have the initially there was a very limited themes, but now you have a lot of themes like a preset theme, so you can opt any option from there. You can change it, and if you really want to just put your own themes, you can just upload your own css on the top of that. But again, please mark my word, which I just told you earlier, please try to not break the existing pattern for the bootstrap, otherwise you need to face the consequences for that one. So definitely you can just go and use any of the pre-built themes, and Microsoft is working more on that to provide more pre-built themes for that one. And on the top, you can definitely go and change it. Then CDS portal migration schema. I will just basically I will just take one slider for that one also, like how you move from one environment to another environment of your customization and development. But the good part is like Microsoft has already provided you the schema files for your migration. So you don't need to do anything, just download the schema file and use it via your configuration migration tool. So which is already available, and Microsoft is definitely keep improving those schema file based on the customer or the user feedback. Power BI embed, it is now the part of that one. So basically you can, sorry, you can go there and now it's a part of there. So initially you need to go to the web template. In the web template, then you need to just use the liquid tags, or basically like a liquid queries there, or liquid language, and then you just give the reference for your Power BI tile. But now you don't need to do this. You simply go to the Power BI. Firstly, you have to select a space where basically you need to inject those. So second, you just enable it, and then it asks you to select the component. I'm sorry for that. Give me a second. Oh my God. So basically you will get an option here, and definitely you need to connect from the admin center. You need to enable it, and you need to just provide all the values. You need to configure in the AD as well, but then you will get an option to just surface the Power BI stuff here. How to do this? As I mentioned, like you can just refer the last session on the PowerThin YouTube channel, and you will get an idea for that one. So this is one thing. And as I mentioned, like a new portal checker rules in the admin center, which is Microsoft is keep revisiting and increasing that one. And apart from that, portal design studio enhancement also. So if you have a liquid templates or the rendering engines, basically then in that case, you don't need to wait it immediately. You just give or just select any of the list. You will get a preview immediately. So this is something like you will get the exact specific feeling that what you are gonna see on the browser itself when you render the page. So this is something Microsoft has improvised. Um, okay, so this is something which I would like to talk about, the focus area where Microsoft is putting more effort in future. So they want to try to make more simple. I don't know how till what extent, because it seems to me always very simple how to use and build it. But yes, they have a focus to make it very simple so it can be done very smoothly via any citizen developer or the business or functional consultant too. And not only this, they have some of the pro dev enhancements. So making it simple, it doesn't mean there is nothing for the developers also. As you recently aware about that, Microsoft provided you the access for the web APIs. Like it means you can use the web APIs, and you can build your own pages on the top of that. So this is something and very much for the developers too. It's not only for on the web APIs, but on the different ways, all on the templates and on the different client side frameworks too. It's more reliable. They're making it more secure, more reliable. So no downtime from the Microsoft perspective, and everything as much as like with a zero time downtime they need to provide it. The very interesting stuff is the integration with the Power Virtual Agent. So basically, like Power App portals that added the Power Virtual Agent as a component in the Power App Portal Studio itself, as well as to support for code components created using Power App Component Framework. So this is something which you will get, like an example I have shown you for the Power BI, the same way you will get it for the Power Virtual Agent also. I just enabled one of the Power Virtual Agent code in my portal. I will show you that as well, like how it's look like. So you will basically get a chatbot available with you on the portals. And what feature they're about to release in this wave 2. So basically, like as I told, like Power Virtual Agent. So you will get access on October 2020, like next month itself. And then you have a support for entity permission configuration using the Power App Portal Studio. That is again you will get in the October 2020. One thing you will get in by the end of this year, which is a Power App Component Framework control supported in the Power App portals. So this you will get by the end of this year, like in probably in the December 2020. And there's one general availability for the Power App web APIs, which is already in the public preview from since July 2020. You will get the general availability for in Feb 2021. So this all the things you need to consider when you are actually designing something for the customer, because this is the point you can leverage the new functionality um, from what Microsoft is already offering. There are a few known issues where Microsoft is definitely working, because every like nothing is perfect in the world, and Microsoft don't claim they are perfect. Otherwise, the moment you just claim okay someone is perfect, you just stop the progress from and the growth from there. So there are issues with the rich text for the notes in the timeline. It's not supported in the Power App portals. So ensure like you disable the rich text editor for the notes in timeline when you're using on the portal. And due to some ongoing compatibility issue between the updated Yahoo distributed network like Yahoo YDN OAuth providers endpoints and the Power App portal, so user may get temporarily issue or unavailability of the authentication for the Yahoo identity providers. Apart from that, like when you create an environment along with the starter portals, the owner of the portal is not displayed correctly. It always be system. So this is something Microsoft is working on. If a portal has the page hierarchy of more than 3 levels, the page from the 4th level onwards will not display in the Power App Portal Studio. So this is probably one of the question which someone asked on the chat window, that customization is same from both the end. You can use the Power App Portal Studio, or you can just go directly on the browser and explore the templates or the entities there. So this is something which is I could say there are a few points, and that's why as a developer I would always try to work from the not using the Power App studios, but it's totally depend on your own preference. So nothing is good, nothing is bad in that case. But yes, this is the limitation for the studio in this scenario. The next is basically the color picker, and it's related with the string. They are supported only in the English, not in the other languages. So this is something where we are working on. A few template pages on the employee self-service portal are not able to render the correct breadcrumbs. And as I told, like there are issues with the Bootstrap framework too on that one employee self-service portal. So this is already known for that. And one important aspect, when you upload the CSS, it might fail in a scenario where the CSS file name contains special characters. Like if you have some of the special character in the file name, and if you have a space into that one. So please keep in mind, especially if you are the developers that don't give special characters or spaces in the file name. So otherwise there might be the failing situation for that one. And the last one is like Power App Portal Studio is currently not supported on the Safari in Mac operating system. Like it's not supported. You may try that one, maybe it's work, but officially it's not supported right now. So let's quickly talk about some of my best features basically for the Power App portals. From the last release. So identity providers configuration is one of them, portal search, themings, and Power BI integrations, Power Platform Admin Center. Let's just quickly just have a very quick look for all of them. And there are few things actually on the preview mode. So an example, if I can show you right now, probably from the make.powerapps.com, you cannot see this identity provider box here, but if you just go with the preview one, you will be able to find it there, and directly from here you can just configure your I can show you very quickly. A second. What I was talking about. So here you cannot see this, but if you just change the URL, probably you will be able to see on the preview one. So you can directly configure your identity providers from here. You don't need to actually visit anywhere. What you need to do, basically, you can just go to your app. You can go to setting. In the setting, you will get an option for the authentication settings. So this is possible somehow. Portal search is now available for basically the custom entities with the wildcard support. So initially it was not available for the custom entities, but now it's there. So you can leverage this functionality as well, but you need to configure this. Then you have a theme, as I mentioned, like you have a preset themes available for customization along with the accessibility standard support. So this also, like this option also, you can get it there very quickly. And I have already shown this on the browser. Power BI embedded support, it's already there. So you just need to select the area, you just need to enable the Power BI component, you need to create a report and the tiles or the dashboards there, and you can just include it on the pages. So again, there is a security concerns, and the people may ask, okay, if the people can see the whole data or only the data related with them, this is somehow configurable, and you can achieve this with just configuration, no additional code required for that. Power Platform Admin Center. So in the admin, like Microsoft introduced this. Let me just quickly check this, where it is. Okay, maybe I can show my admin here. So here. So basically on the admin center, in the resources tab, you will get a portals tab, a portal menu here, and you will get all of the portal available there, which is related with your organization. So you can go and explore or edit or make the changes directly from your admin center. You don't need to visit specifically for every places. And it's probably for me, it's icing on the cake and one of my favorite. Like last couple of weeks ago, Microsoft announced the long-awaited, sorry for that, long-awaited Pro Dev capabilities, which is the web API for the portals. So basically, like the portal web API enable building a richer experience inside the Power App portal pages. You can use the web API to create, update, or delete operations across all of the common data service entities for your portals. So for example, you can create a new account, update a contact, or change the entity permission for a product using the portal web API instead of using the portal management app. You can just do it directly from there. So basically, there are some of the baselines for that. Your portal version must be 9.2.6.41 or later. This feature to like you need to go with this one to work this feature. This feature is in preview, like as I mentioned, and it will be available for the general publics very soon in the releases next. Portal web APIs are built for creating rich user experience inside portal pages and not optimized for the third-party services or the application integration. So it doesn't mean that you created an MVC application and you are gonna work with that one. It's not recommended actually. Portal web APIs operation are limited to the entities related to data. For example, like entities such as account, contact, or your custom entities. Configuration of entity metadata or portal configuration entity doesn't entity data is not supported when you're using the portal web API. For example, like configuring portal entities such as adx.content snippet maybe, or adx.entity form or adx.entity list is not supported using the web APIs. So but yeah, there are issues with that. So currently if you try this, maybe yes, you can access this, but as a long-term plan, it's not supported for now. As a bug, yes, it may exist there. Portal web API benefit from the server-side caching, and hence subsequent call to the web APIs will be faster than the initial calls. So note that clearing the portal server-side cache caused the temporary performance degradation, and it's not only for the web APIs, for the across the portal, which I explained earlier. So how you need to use it, I will not just go through very detail in that. I will quickly just move to the next slide because we have a specific session on this. So we can then cover this. The same is like how the security works, like it's the portal web API, it derived from, like it go to the entities, entity permission, web roles, and the user is the base for that one. So user is here the portal user, not a CRM user. So it's a in CRM it's a basically contact. Okay. And then I would just quickly talk about the portal migration. Like portal development involve several configuration and customization to achieve the desired experience for the portal end users. After you have completed the development or configuration of your portal instance, you might want to migrate your latest portal configuration from development to the testing or from production environment. So basically migration involve exporting the existing configuration from source common data service environment and then importing into the target common data service environment. So to export configuration data, you need to basically use the configuration migration tool as per the recommendation, and a portal specific configuration schema file, which I told you, like you will probably get it there, but if not, please ping me or the LinkedIn or somewhere on my social media. I will happy to just give you the URL or maybe the schema files for that. So I recommend you to use the latest version of the configuration migration tool. The minimum solution version of portal supported by schema file for configuration migration is I think 8.4.0.270 or 275 something. And source and destination organization must have the same default language for the migration to work successfully. So if you have one in the Dutch and the second one is the English, there might be the issue with that one. What point you need to use when you're using the configuration migration tool, which is really important, because so the first point is the configuration migration tool use the schema to export and import configuration data. The tool does not migrate entities or the entity schema. So migration may fail if you have a missing element, such as an element and or the fields when configuration data has mismatched with the selected schema. So you have one form here on example on the dev environment, and you are moving to the test on the form, few fields are missing, then it will definitely fail for that one. During export, you need to ensure the source environment contain the portal entities as the specified in the configuration migration tool schema files. You can still alter the schema files to add, remove, or modify your entities, your attributes. You can make your own combinations there and so on to migrate the subset of the configuration data, because yes, Microsoft provided you the schema file, but they don't stop you to not edit and update it basically as per your own requirement. So during import, ensure that the destination environment contains the same portal type already installed on as an additional customization, such as entities field, which I just mentioned earlier. And like an example for that, you have a customer service portal on the dev and you want to move to the test or the prod and you have a partner portal there, definitely it will fail. So it will not work in that case. So you need to just take care of this point as well. Power Up portal does not support tenant to tenant migration basically. To migrate a portal from one tenant to another, you basically must need to do some step, like you need to reset your portal in the source tenant, and then you need to provision a new portal in an environment with CDS or containing like a custom engagement apps, and then you can migrate your portal with configuration and customization using your export and this import steps, like with which you know how to do the common configuration migration tool in that case. So let me just quickly go through the entities basically I want to show. So basically, if you want to just see it here, I would start with the website. I will just give a very brief on that one because we don't have much time for that. So we have a website as a core entity here. Like it's basically the core entity for your portals, and then you have a website bindings where you will get all the bindings. So if you have a 5 portal, you will get a 5 bindings. If you don't know the URL for your portals, you can directly come here and you can just get it from there. Then you have a global settings and global setting and basically the site setting. So please keep it in mind. In the site setting, you will get the settings only related with your with your specific site, so it bound to your like a particular website, like a customer self service or something. But the global setting is basically worked for all of the websites. So if you have some settings which need to be imply on every website under your hood, then you need to use the global setting for that one. You have a page redirection. So if you need to redirect from one page to another page, if you so you can just mention those information here, like inbound URL, what would be the redirected URL and something. Then you have a site marker, so it represent a named reference to a page. So template developers use it to create immutable links like that work when even when there's a site structure change. Common markers include the page links, page like page not found, errors or others. So you can just go with that one. You have a web page. So in the web page, basically you can just go and configure your using your own liquid HTML, CSS stuff. Then you have a web template. So web template, like as I mentioned, like in a web template, you can use some of the entity forms. You can use the entity list there, and entity forms basically your own CRM forms. You just need to call it here, so you don't need to recreate. You just need to create like giving a name, and then you can use the existing one. Entity list basically your views into that one. And then on the top of that, like you have some of the content snippet, which is really useful when you worked for in a different language. So content snippet is somehow very important. Portal languages you can enable, so you can go with all of the portal languages which I just mentioned, like approximately 180 combinations. Then somehow here you will get the security aspect. So you have a web roles, which is a kind of the kind of similar to the security roles. You have a contact, which is the base of that. You can go with the additional capabilities like the ad and ad placements and the ads, which is specific, like you just need to enable after configuration it. So this is more and less which is available. I don't have a time, but let me just quickly show a few of the pages on the portal. So just an example, like I'm just logging on this page. So this is somehow I'm handling with the liquid template. So you can use the content snippet and the liquid template together. So you just use the user dot full name and everything will be done for you. So this is somehow very feasible, very easy. At the same time, I just log in on the other browser with a different user, and here you can see like the name is different, and I haven't made any changes. It's all direct from the liquid template. So this is somehow you can do the combination of the liquid templates, web templates, or on the top of the content snippet. Then basically, if you can see, I don't have any tool on the right, but on the other browser which I have shown you, I logged in as an admin and I have this tooltip. So admins have an access for this one, and if you close it, you need to refresh and it will come back. So this is somehow I want to basically narrate you very quickly. Let me just wrap it off in a minute. So there are basically I have compiled a few of the links, and it will be very useful for you on your portal journey. I'm really thankful to you that you spend your valuable time today and looking for your positive feedback and the suggestions. And please scan the QR code and use this short URL to access the feedback forms. It will not take more than 20 seconds to provide you the valuable your valuable feedback, but it really means a lot to me to improve in my upcoming sessions. You can connect me on my social platforms, ask your queries over the Twitter, on my Twitter handle like Ambisha19 at the rate Ambisha19. You can scan the code and connect me on the LinkedIn. You can also subscribe my YouTube channel for more demos on the Azure Dynamic 365 and Power Platform technologies. So I'm really thankful now to all of you to spend your valuable time here and looking for your positive feedback and suggestion. I hope you find the session interesting and useful at some context, and at least to find a new dimension on what the external facing low-code website requirements. I would like to open the floor for the question. Basically, I will not go via voice, but I would try to answer on the chat window itself because I'm already running out of time. So that's all from my side, and back to you, Arpit.
Thank you, Ambes. Excellent session. I think we have already covered, we have already responded to all the answers that we got on the chat window. So you can also have a look once if you can, respond on few of the chat questions. Okay. So I think it's
Sure.
really a great session. I think you have covered, the deployment, and we had, a lot of queries related to the portal new latest updates in the release. So I think we already covered that. Deployment is already covered. So I think we have kept these two sessions for the beginners, and I think going forward we are covering all the advanced level session. So thanks a lot, Ambes, for your time, and thank you so much.
Thank you to you, Arpit, and thanks everyone who joined this. Thanks a lot and have a great day.
Yeah, you too.